Alright, so we're gonna watch this is Feudal Salmon playing Widowmaker. Was Silver 2, dropped to Bronze 4, so like the last person, right, they had like a really big drop. Uh, so went on vacation for about 2 days, ended up going down to Bronze 4. Now they can't get out Browns at all. They're firm believers. You seem to have the right mindset. Like you're a firm believer, you can make or break the game. In fact, usually it's me making people lose or making people win. Mechanical skill varies, on or off some days. Some days I'm a god. Some days I have slow reaction time. You don't have good positioning or game sense encounters that well. Okay. But you think you're well-rounded. That's a weird thought to me. I'm not sure what you mean. You're well-rounded, but you said you're not good at positioning, game sense, or counters. I'm not sure what you mean then by you're well-rounded if you're missing. Like that's a big chunk of the game. If all you have is mechanical skill, that's gonna hold you back a lot in this game. Like mechanical skill is important. Don't get me wrong. When you hit headshots all day, you're probably still gonna win. But like that's only gonna take you so far, right? So you don't understand who you're doing great in silver, but now you absolutely suck at bronze. Uh, take responsibility for my actions. I want to criticize yourself. I appreciate reading this far. Okay, so that's my first thought is like, what do you mean you're a well-rounded player? If you say like you have like three big parts of your gameplay that suck, but like your mechanical skill is good. That's I don't know that that's well-rounded unless you mean I'm not sure what else you would mean by well-rounded, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so this is a pretty good position here, right? You're picking off. Okay, so it's already good, right? You're picking up. You got to kill us to start. Mercy's going here. That's a really easy headshot to hit right there. She's basically not moving, but it is what it is. You're not always gonna hit every shot. So you come back over here and peek. Uh, First thing I would realize here is you don't really play your walls here, right? Like always, like sometimes like here you're just kind of like standing out in the middle of this, right? Like instead of being right here or over here where you can like jump to cover right away, right? You're not really playing cover from either side. You're just standing in the middle here. And then when you come over to uh, here, right? Like again, instead of standing next to either wall here, you're literally just standing out in like the easiest spots for people to shoot you. And that's gonna make you, it just makes you a really easy target. Like you see how you're just sitting out in the middle, like as far away, like you're like equidistant away from both sides. Like you want to choose a side so that you can just peek out and then peek back right away. Overall, I think the game's aim's pretty good. You get pushed off, right? You want to go over here. Uh, yeah, here I think instead of just waiting for here, right, you could just grapple back here and then grab this health pack that's back here. Because you probably want to, well, I mean, it's respawning, but you wouldn't have known that. Because, I mean, you probably want to be back of your team anyways, because you know that they can get up on high ground and flank here, like both the Mei and the Sojourn have high ground abilities. So coming back here, you just want to rotate out, run, get the health pack, and then probably play back here, right? Since your entire team is pushing out, right? Like, if you come up here and then come here, like, you're probably going to get contested. Like, you're not just going to sit behind their team and take free shots. I mean, it's bronze, so they may not notice you, but that's not a good mindset to be in of, yeah, I'm just going to get healed up and then go right back up here, right? Because you definitely don't want to be here, right? Or their Zarya is just going to walk on top of you. Like, their team is coming in here, and your team is backing off this way. So your team is maybe going to play this corner, but it makes it really easy for their team to both sandwich you and your Junkrat. And especially if they're coming on high ground, right? Because now they're coming from this way, and now they're coming from this way at the same time. And now you and your Junkrat are just sitting here. Like, you guys should both be not separated from your team at the moment. Um, which is also another thing that you just could have, like, if you're up here playing this wall, right, and then you got shot, you can just come back here and like come down here. It makes it easy for your supports to either heal you from right here because they have line of sight on you, or to drop down and then back off with your team. So coming this way, I guess, would have been another thing that I didn't really mention, but just probably not the way you want to go out of this. But you get killed by the soldier. Like I agree with you. Like your mechanics are not bronze for aim. for sure. That's good. Very, very, very good. Right. Kirika's out of position. You punish her for that. Yeah, and you kill the Sojourn who's just standing still. But that's good, right? Your grappling hook's a little bit low. I think you're trying to get up in that window, but it's whatever. It's micro mistake. It's not that big of a deal. Good. Yeah, their May is just this really is bronze. Like you almost got him. It's it happens. Not gonna heal all your shots. It would have obviously been better to kill him, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, every time you miss a shot, like, oh no. I mean, you know you're missing shots, right? You just gotta work on your aim and do the best you can to hit as many shots as you can. Uh, and that's something that I just assume you already know, right? Like, if I missed a shot, that's not good. But that's with every character. Okay. I think you're flicking a bit much because this Zarya is like standing still, right? So watch how you see how you're on the right side here. And flicking is really good for Widow, right? But when someone is standing still like this, not doing like it's just sometimes like I think you're trying to flick on every single shot regardless of whether you need to. And thus see you're going to over flick and then you like shoot right here even though I think maybe you're expecting her to move, but now even you see her standing still, right? And it's the same thing. You go from here to here. Like you don't need to flick to someone that's standing still, right? Just move your cursor to their head and then just click on them. You don't need to do like a flicking motion for it. Um so I think just recognize when that's, when you actually need to flick and when you don't need to. Because if someone's standing still, like just, it's just click on their heads. That like good. That was a really good shot.
No one can hide from my sight. Engage this enemy.
You're laying up the. Okay, so this right here is just a mechanics thing, right? When she's coming around, like the whole point of having walls is you need to line up, right? I think you go for up here because she's jumping, but then when she lands and walks out, you see the difference between her head and your crosshair. Like that's half the point of Infrasight is being able to line up your shots before like they come around, right? And so you shoot way up here. Like you don't even try to flick down to her. So that's just you got to realize where they're actually at when they come around, right? And again, like you're flicking, I think it just sometimes when you don't need to, because here I think you actually have your shot lined up and then you flick away from it. So like there you just miss, right? But here you're like your target like is pretty much on her body, and then you just flick across it. So I think you're just you're over flicking a little bit with your mechanics, which I understand. And again, as long as you can hit these shots, like it doesn't even matter, right? Because I mean, you're hitting your shots. Like if you miss a couple of body shots, but then you hit a headshot, like I like that's better than I would do. Like I absolutely suck at playing Widow, So I'm not. I don't want to be shitting on you or anything. Like that's not at all being like. It's just something because I do the same thing. Like I'm better at flicks than just straight up aiming. And then again, you're just standing out in the middle here, so this May comes out, and like you see how you are just not attempting to take any sort of cover. You're just kind of standing out. This is the difference between like bronze Widowmakers and silver Widowmakers even, and like if you stop doing this, I feel like you might have the mechanics to be gold, honestly. But this is just like super easy to die, and even in silver, like, and you're still gonna get a bit more punished for this. But especially in gold, you stand out like this, like you're dead. If you're just standing out in the middle, in front of your team, like just walk up here, right, and then sit over here and take this angle, right, Or you can even sit down here if you really don't want to play high ground. You can sit over here, right? Or like grapple up on top of this bus. No, probably not on top of the bus. That wouldn't be good. But like over here would be fine, or down here would be okay, right? Or if you really want to be, just on the ground and just pushing with your team, that at least like play like back here on this angle where you can shoot, or over here where you can shoot, right? Because like your supports can't see you right now, right? And you're in front of your tank. That's two bad. The two things you don't want to do whenever possible is line of sight your supports, or and stand in front of your tank. Especially as Widow being a sniper, like you don't want to be in front of your tank, right? And you almost die here because you're just standing out in the open. So that I think is the biggest thing I've seen so far is your, which you admit, right? Like your position, like man, it's just like bronze widows don't hit these shots. Uh, even the grappling, yeah, and then you go here, you finish off the. Never mind. You try to finish off the Kiriko. Like all of this is really good. This is the first time that I've been like, wow, right? Like, I mean, again, like I think you just might over flick here a little bit when people are like standing, like you can clearly tell she's not moving, she's just standing there shooting at you, right? And then you like flick, and like if you just took an extra half a second when people are standing still to just move your mouse on top of their head and just click instead of like trying to move it there in one swift motion. Like if they're standing still,
Criminals have no place on the battlefield. No one can hide from my sight.
I'm sorry, like this isn't you that I'm laughing at. I can't believe their Mercy repeaked a Widow like 3 times. Like it's, oh man, it's funny. All right, but so yeah, that's good. You recognize the maze coming up to contest you, right? Um, jeez. Like genuinely impressed with your mechanics that you're somehow managed to drop into this low of bronze. Like you don't hit these levels of shots in bronze, right? Like you're a way better shot than I am at Widow. I mean, granted, I just don't play Widow is also part of it, but like, I mean, my DPS is only gold 1 right now. Um, I mostly play like Soldier or Ashe or Reaper. Um, but yeah, like genuine, like there, zero negative a 1,000% of your aim is holding you back, right? Like your aim is not at all anywhere near bronze. So this, I can only imagine that normally like if this is that's assuming that this is how you play every game, right? Only thing is here, like I wouldn't be shooting the tank, right? Like, I don't. I think your supports are. Yeah, your supports were dead. So, but yeah, that's And the only other thing is like I don't see you. Okay, so like when you get pushed up over here, like you're never throwing your Venom Mine is the other thing, right? Like when you're over here, like at any point here, you could have thrown your Venom Mine because you know they're gonna like anytime that you know what someone's pushing up, right? Like or just even when you're taking a spot, right? Like you want to take wherever you think they're gonna flank you from is where you want to put a Venom Mine, where it's like right here or even here, so when you back up and they come around the corner, the Venom Mine's gonna damage. I think that's one thing that you could be doing a lot more is putting down your Venom Mine, because I don't think I've, oops, seen you use it yet. So you end up getting out, grab the Mega. It didn't really need because your Moira's pocketing you, but yeah, you're okay. So your tank is dead. Yeah, you're probably gonna die here. Yeah, I think this was bad timing to be coming back
Much better.
because your tank dies like right here. But also, I think maybe you could probably recognize like that your team. Yeah. Because I guess if you recognize your teams like how they are, right? Like that we're backing up here and the bot is over here, probably would have been best to just rotate up here and then come and play this, right? Because then their squishies are all gonna be coming here. They're gonna have a hard time trying to kill you or like get to their tank. If you could get one or two picks while they're trying to get to their tank, that like makes it a lot easier on your team. Like it's very hard for them to push past a high ground Widow, right? That can hit their shots. So coming in here is just like it's super easy for them to kill you because you're like dropping close range on them. Like you can't win in that a 1v3 close range as Widow. Like it just you're not gonna win that. So hopefully you come take high ground here. You already lost this fight because two of your teammates just died. So what you want to be doing now is playing passively, right? Like you don't want to stagger anymore. Just really make sure you're not gonna like getting a kill here won't really matter because your team already lost the fight. I think you realize that. That's why you're coming back here. So again, this is an okay spot to be playing, but at least you're playing cover here, right? It's good that you're playing cover. Probably best to be going here and then rotating around because you're not like if you get a pick, like your team isn't engaging much aside from your Ana just kind of chilling over here. Like your Orissa's up here, but she hasn't engaged yet. So if you can get a shot, cool, but then be ready at least ready to grapple out of here and then come play probably here is where you'll be playing. Or, you can drop down. But again, see, like you're also in this spot where the Sojourn's coming up here to flank you. If you're up here, or even if you would put a Venom Mine like right here, it would activate and you would know that the Sojourn's coming. But because you never place your Venom Mine, that's something that you don't realize. So yeah, now you place your Venom Mine, but it doesn't really matter. And you see, you have the presence of mind to go to the health back, right? You get the kill, so you remedy the situation, but like in any other rank aside from bronze, you'd be dead right now. Like they would have come and kill you and punished you for A, bad positioning, and then B, like not using your Venom Mine. It's good that you're going up now, but it's a little too late. So it's one of those, if you would have been sitting at that position the entire time, like they wouldn't have killed you. Yeah, that was, I mean, you almost let her get away when she was a free kill. But that's part of playing Widow as well as, um, getting kills when it really matters. And now you spend, okay, so this entire fight was actually pretty poorly, right? Because like you miss the mercy, like they get the mercy, but that's not actually with you really. Like you hit her once, but your team actually had to finish her. And then instead of like you come here, but then you don't get anything, and so you spend this entire fight rotating, right? And your team is playing without you. You come around here, but they're already gone. Like it's they've already rotated past. Like you're here, you could grapple up and play this window where you have line of sight here, right? Will probably be the best spot to be right now, or playing this window. But going all the way over to this window took you like the entire fight to get over here, and now your supports are just trying to fight without you because the bot's almost here, right? So they have to like try to fight this. So this is, like a lot of fights you're doing a lot and possibly even winning for your team. But then like this fight, when it really matters because the bot's about here and you don't participate. Like this kill doesn't matter because they already took the point. So you get 2 kills, but again, like, so I think this is the part that you're struggling with is like your mechanics are really good and there are fights that you're completely carrying like earlier, but then when you get to a fight like this, like there's times where you either die right away and then like you aren't fighting with your team because of like your bad positioning when you were over here, and then the next fight you're also not fighting in over here when you need to, so it's basically 2 fights, which is like, this entire length that you weren't fighting because like you died when you were over here, right? And so then they go and they keep pushing the bot, and then they come over here, and then you, instead of going to a good spot where you can like have full line of sight of this, you come up over here, and by the time you get here, like your team's already dead. So that's basically two team fights that you didn't participate in. And if you're gonna carry, you have to be participating in fights, right? They can't go like this entire length pretty much. Without you. And I think that is your thing, which I think like you realized, right? Like you said. So hopefully this helps to see where exactly it is that you need to be repositioning to, and in spots where like you're positioning, because you said like you realize your positioning isn't bad or isn't good. And so hopefully I think if you work on this, like it should be a cakewalk for you to be climbing, if this is indeed how good you aim and not just like a random. Why are you going AFK? Yeah, I'm not sure why you went AFK there. Never go AFK. Because you could have been probably stopping that res from happening in the first place. Although it's actually good that they res that, because now you staggered their Zarya even harder. But there's somebody you can hear them right underneath you. Yep, don't chase them, which is good, because their Mei is really good. You know that she's coming up here. Jeez. Like, you're kind of rolling this you see the Kiriko, right? Yeah, okay, good. Alright, you see that means she teleported. Alright, now again, you need to be... This is not going to do anything. You can see where your tank is through the wall, right? Like, you should have, like, you can see the outlines and see where your people are, right? Your supports are back here, right? You are back here. If your tank is all the way here, it means that their team is in front of your tank, right? Or they're over here. Either one of those you can't see, so again, you're not participating in this fight. Like, um, right, as soon as you see this Kiriko teleport, that was your only target. Now you need to walk forward and grapple up here as quickly as possible so that you can start shooting everybody on their team, right? Because if you don't, then this is the third fight in a row that you haven't really participated in. See how you're not doing anything? Alright, so you did do something in the end, right? That first fight, like first half of the fight though, again, because of your positioning, like you weren't there. So if that Sojourn didn't walk in front of you, you would just continue to do nothing. But again, your mechanics are really good. So killing that Sojourn, killing their overclock is like huge. Yeah, you kill their Zarya, good. Your support's already dead. There's nothing you can do about that. It's not really your fault. Um, Now you're back and trying to, go to your Moira. Your Moira's the other way, or you can go to the health pack. That's fine. I don't know why you're going behind their team now. Their team isn't there. Now you're just kind of lost a bit. Try to get some from behind. You're still a bit late on rotating. A good shot again. Like your mechanics really good, right? Coming around here, I don't understand, right? Like you could have gotten to this fight and been shooting people so much quicker if you came down here, grabbed it, and then came back. I don't know whether Kiriko is. Either Kiriko shouldn't be here. This is really weird. But if you came back up here, right, would be like what you would assume, because that's where they're going to be. Coming all the way around here, like, it's like the longest way possible to get back to where they are, right? And normally there wouldn't be a random Kiriko sitting here for no reason. This is a bit weird, but even if you came up like now, right, and like just came up this way, and like you could be shooting them as they came through, but you're a little bit late. It's one of those like, do you end up getting in the fight? Yes, but like again, in higher ranks, like when the team fights are happening faster, like your team can easily get rolled 1v4 or 4v5 before like this happens, right? Before you get a chance to get here. But your mechanics are again like just like really good. So you're getting kills still. Their team is on the bot because your team failed to realize that they were grabbing the bot. Is now trying to chase them. Yeah, these two kind of are outplaying your team right now. Your Venom Mine got triggered back wherever it is. You can see kind of where their team is. Again, you're probably going to want to grab high ground here as your team comes through. Yep, see if you can get a shot. I would not give that up yet. I would have tried to get a shot in. Um, Here, right, it's going to take them a second, right, because they can't use their jump, slide, and jump, right? Like, you don't want the Sojourn to just jump on you, but you can at least attempt to take a shot here. Like, you can see when they're coming in and know when to drop because you have walls active, so try to peek out and get a headshot on their Sojourn, and that pretty much guarantees, like, you guys are going to win this fight, right? And now that they're up there, like, you can't take high ground. See how, like, if you had killed the Sojourn at first, then, you know, this is another thing where it's just like, okay, so a couple of things I'm gonna pause. So if you had probably pushed the Sojourn off, right, you wouldn't be sitting here looking. Notice how you spend like a lot of time sitting here looking, but not able to hit anybody because you don't have the angle. It's because if you were up on this bridge, you would and had like tried. Let's say you had peeked out and killed the Sojourn, right? It would be free reign on the rest of their team. Um, and now you have hacks up. You can see this Mei, but you completely ignore her. So you come up here, like you just don't see her, I think. And then you come up here to shoot their tank. And now this Mei is hitting you from the back. Yeah, shoot Venom Mine is good. I mean, it misses, but that's fine. Yeah, I just, like, with how good your mechanics are with something like this, right? Your grappling hook is on cooldown. Your only way you survive, like, you have zero help at the moment, so the only way you survive is if you scope in and hit a headshot on her. That's really, like, I mean, you're good at flicks, right? You're not going to kill her with your assault rifle. Your grappling hook is 4 seconds. You'll be dead by then. Just try to scope in and hit a headshot on this. Because I think you have the mechanics to do it. I think that's the only way you would live, though, right there. That or just paying attention to your wall hacks in the beginning and, you know, see that the Mei is actually up there when you're jumping up here. You should be using your, so at any point to get here faster, you use your E ability here to, like when you walk up to a wall, like even like out of spawn, you should do it. You turn around, you use your knockback to launch yourself farther, and then like come over here, and as soon as it comes up, use it again to like get there faster, because you'll knock yourself back with your knockback as well. So if you turn around and shoot into a wall, you'll actually propel yourself faster. Good. Yeah, you don't really want to knock the mate into your Moira. You want to knock her away with that concussive blast. Yeah, so not a whole ton going here, right? Because I mean, there's only 2 of you, so you're probably not going to win this fight regardless. Probably when you come in though, I think it's right back here actually. You knock the Mei with your concussive blast, right? And I think you try to knock her back, but because your aim is behind her, it actually knocks her over here, which is closer to where your Moira is walking. You should have aimed it to the right of her, like instead of the left here, you should have aimed it, been up higher and aimed it to the right to like knock her away from your Moira. Um, and then after that, you just kind of need to pick where you're going. Like you can't be passive here, right? Your Moira is up here front line. Like in order to hit shots as Pharah, like you're gonna have to be like closer on her to try to really like knock, right? Because you need to make sure that she doesn't close in on your Moira, and right now you're not really pressuring her off. So it's like here, yeah, this is good, but then you do it a little bit late, so by the time you're finally hitting your shots consistently, like your Moira dies. Um, so overall, your Widow, your aim is so much better than Bronze, obviously. Um, if this is again, if this is a thing, like not just a one-off game where you played like a lot better. Um, but your positioning, I think this will help you, hopefully, that you've seen different spots where your positioning was bad and why your positioning was bad, or where, like, your positioning would have been fine if you had your Venom mine up and would have known that someone was coming to flank you. I think that's part of too, as well as, like, you don't know when someone's about to close in and, like, punish you for it, is because, like, you don't have your Venom mine up to alert you, like, hey, this person's coming. Um, so yeah, hopefully this helped. Um, overall, I think you'll climb in general if you just, like I said, those few times where like it really mattered for you to be there, and sometimes you're just either really late to the team fights, where like your positioning didn't allow you to take shots for the first half of them, or you were just already dead because of your bad positioning, and that was what like caused you guys to lose certain fights. So there were certain fights that they won only because of you, and there were certain fights that I think they lost only because of you, because like they needed their team to like you to be there for the team fight in order to win it. And so that's often the case of why people, people feel like, yeah, I'm better, like, because you are a lot better than Bronze, like, you aim wise. It's just you need to actually be in these games to have your better than Bronze aim, to participate in the. You need to be there to carry more fights, I think, is really what it boils down to. So hopefully this helps.